So there's actually, we separated into 2 different test dates. So go ahead and write them both on the front cover. So we're going to do the first half on Tuesday, September 19th, and then the second half on Tuesday, October 3rd. So on your note packet, we are going to do bell work, so we can keep out your yellow packet. But before we start that, I just wanted you all on your note packet. We're going to use this note all the way through October. Module 9. Module 9 is over equations, inequalities, and systems. There's 2 handouts in the front. If we could, please put away your phones, take out your earbuds. I would appreciate it. Earbuds, all of that needs to come off. So module 9 is linear equations, inequalities, and systems, and we have 2 different tests. So I'll give you a minute to write those down. And then in your bell work packet, which I made that yellow color, go ahead and look at that first one for today. Put the date in our bell work packet. So the first one is today, Tuesday, September 5th. And I want you to look at these 2 graphs and state the domain and range. Go ahead and do that for both of these graphs. So domain is how far to the left and how far to the right the graph goes. So this graph has an arrow pointing to the left and an arrow pointing to the right. So your domain is all real numbers. Your range for this graph, because you have 2 arrows pointing up, would be y is greater than or equal to your lowest point, which is right here. And what does y equal right there? -4. So that would be your domain and range for that first graph. The second graph has a domain of all real numbers and a range of all real numbers. Your domain is all real numbers. And your range is also all real numbers. So your domain is all real numbers, because again, you have arrows going to the left and arrows going to the right. Your range is all real numbers because one side is increasing and the other side is decreasing. All right, let's go ahead and go to your notes. And let's go ahead and get started solving. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our notes. So solving equations and inequalities, the goal is to get all your variables to one side. Okay, and we do that using the 4 properties of equalities. So what this simply says is that if I add a number to both sides, when I add a number to both sides, my equation is equal. If I subtract the number from both sides, my equation is equal. When I multiply both sides by the same number, my equation is equal. And if I divide a number, both sides of an equation by the same number is equal. As long as what I do to the left, I do to the right, it's still an equal equation. So let's go ahead and solve A. So I just need to pull all my variables to one side, all my numbers to the other. So I'm going to subtract 4x. And again, I'm doing that to both sides. So that is 7 equals 5x minus 12. And then I'm going to add the negative 12. Because I'm doing the opposite. Because this was a positive 4x, I subtracted it. So if I want to move the 12 to the right or to the left, I'm going to do the opposite. The opposite of minusing 12 or subtracting 12 is adding 12. So I'm adding 12. Seven plus 12 is 19. And then the last property I'm going to use is my division property. I'm dividing both sides by 5. So x equals 19 over 5, which can also be written as a decimal. What is that? What is it? Or 3.8. Thank you. So I would take either one of those answers on the test. All right, any questions about how we work through A? All right, for question B, that little line shouldn't be there. Let me go ahead and take that off. Oops. Okay. Does that match the equation in your notes? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is combine our like terms. So anything that's on the same side, we don't have to do the opposite. We're just going to combine these together. Go ahead and pick up your calculator and add 6.6 and 3.4. So you get 10K plus 8 equals 6K. And now we need to bring all our variables to one side. So I have a 10K on the left and a 6K on the right. So I'm going to subtract the 10K. So 8 equals, and then 6 minus 10 is negative 4K. And then your last step would be to divide both sides by negative 4. So negative 2 equals K. Okay, any questions about how we work through those first two? All right, let's look at question C. When you see a parentheses, your first step is going to be to distribute. So distribute the 2. Go ahead and multiply your parentheses by 2. When we multiply by 2, we get 6c minus 12. Oh, that looks like, both of those look like 6s. Hold on, let me fix that. 6c minus 12 equals 6c minus 9 minus 5c. So we'll start by combining our like terms. So go ahead and add 6c minus 5c. And 6 minus 5 is 1. So you have 1c minus 9. So now we have a choice, and it doesn't matter which way we go. We can either subtract the 6c or we can subtract 1c. We get the same answer either way. So only because I'm trying to avoid a negative in this step, I'm going to subtract 1. So 1c from both sides, go ahead and subtract it. And that gives you 5c minus 12 equals negative 9. And now we're going to add the 12 to both sides. So 5c equals 3. And then you're dividing both sides by 5. So again, c equals 3/5, or you could write it as 0.6. All right, any questions about how we did question C? And then our last question, and then we'll take out our purple sheets and start filling that out for this module. What do you think we're going to do first for number 4? Parentheses. So I want you all to take a couple minutes and just try to do D by yourself. Try to practice D on your own, and then we'll go through it together. Give it back to you on Friday. Oh. right, what you all get for your answer? Let me see what we got. Let me look. That's your answer. What you do? So far, everybody has a different number. I don't know the answer because I haven't worked through it yet, so I don't know. Somebody else had that answer. So far, the answer I see the most is negative 30. Now again, I haven't worked through it, so I don't know the answer. But I saw negative 30, I saw negative 2, and I think I saw a couple fractions in there too. So let's work through it together. What did you do first? Distribute it. So can someone tell me, Rowan, what did you get when you distributed that 4? What's 4 times 8? 32. And 4 times negative 3? Okay, so that should be your first step. So who had that part? Okay. Then your second step would be to combine like terms. So what I'm noticing is that I have these two terms, and they're both on the left. So we need to combine them together. What's negative 12 plus 14? 2, positive 2. So that would be 32 plus 2h equals negative 28. All right, so now we need to move this 32 across the equation. So it's positive. So the opposite, or the way to get rid of it, would be to do what? How do I get rid of a positive number? Subtract it. Good. So in your calculator, type negative 28 minus 32. And I think you should get, so type in negative 28 minus negative 60. So now what do I need to do to get rid of that 2 in front of the h? Divide it. So h equals negative 30. So if you had negative 30, you had the correct answer. I agree with that number. All right, so on your purple paper, real quick, we're going to go to the second row. Go ahead, take out your purple papers, please. And I just want you to fill in that second row. So the first row is Module 8. I've already put all those assignments in. For Module 9, there are 6 homework. So I just want you to go across the top and just write M9 homework 1. And then M9 homework 2. Yeah, we're going to the second line. So the second line is Module 9 homework. And then we have Module 9. I just do M9 homework 3. So for this module, there are 6 assignments that we're going to have. And even though there's 6, I am going to collect it before every quiz because we have 2 quizzes. So I'm going to collect it twice and put your grades in twice. So that's for this row. Now for the rest of the class period, so Module 9, homework 1, did everyone get that? I am going to check that at the beginning of class on Monday, September 11th for full credit. So to get 50 out of 50, you have to have it completed when I check it during the bell work. That's Module 9, homework 1. Now what I want everyone to do now though everybody, so this is not sleep time. Everyone should be doing questions 1 through 4 right now on homework 1. So use these next few minutes to work on homework 1, questions 1 through 4. And I'm going to check the entire assignment on Monday.